So has your Mac crashed? Sort of out of nowhere, it's just stopped working. It's rebooted. It's frozen. Whatever it may be. We'll talk about why did it happen in the first place and some steps that you can be putting in place to make sure that it never happens again. So we love all things Mac security on this channel. We want to make sure that your Mac is staying safer for longer. We release videos all the time on all things Mac security. Click on that subscription button, click on the bell. That way you don't miss out on any of the future videos that we are releasing. Although malware can occasionally cause a Mac to freeze up or crash or reboot, it's not the most common reason that these things sort of happen, but malware is a real thing and it's growing, unfortunately, from bad people that are wanting to get into your Mac more than ever and wanting to compromise your Mac, steal your data, steal your credentials. We've got some great software here at Moonlock where you can actually ensure that your Mac stays safer for longer. You can download Moonlock completely for free. And if you love it as much as we do, we've also got a YouTube 10 coupon code that you can apply so you can go and pick it up. Moonlock will ensure that your Mac remains safer for longer. It will scan your entire Mac, ensure that viruses are gone, malware is checked, and even give you some recommendations around security hardening things that you can actually do on your Mac to make sure that your Mac is stronger and security hardened. So do go and download it completely for free, as I said, for 7 days down below in that link. So why does my Mac keep on crashing? A common reason is applications, bad applications that are conflicting with other applications. They're just old. They maybe don't support all of the latest and greatest technology that is built into your Mac. There could be updates that are outstanding for those apps that may cause these apps to not behave the way that they should. And apps can really cause conflict sometimes on your computer by sucking resources like your CPU, your RAM, your hard drive space, especially if they are vulnerable to some of these attacks, causing your Mac to just not run well, and then your Mac to potentially even crash or reboot. And with some of these crashes, you can even lead into what's called kernel panics, where the computer just goes into a panic state. Drivers, software applications that are running conflicting with the macOS operating system software, the underlying hardware, causing a kernel panic. Applications and even drivers that are installed onto your Mac need to make sure they're fully compatible with the underlying hardware of your computer. The Mac has an underlying motherboard. It has an underlying pieces of RAM. It has hard drives. It has all of these bits inside of it. And sometimes the application does not perform very well with the hardware. And that also leads into other hardware issues. Hardware issues are a common cause of things not running well. Are you running hardware on your Mac that is not supported? So here's an example. Your Mac comes with a specific hard drive inside of it. Your Mac comes with a specific model, type, make and model of RAM. Those have been tested and proven by Apple. Sometimes people like to open up their Macs and upgrade things themselves with hardware that is not supported. That can cause the Mac to crash. But even more than that, even sometimes hardware that is fully supported can run into problems over time. Components can fail. Your Mac can start to run really, really hot because the resources inside of it, the hardware inside of it, is just not performing the way that it did when it was first running. The CPU can just run really, really hot. Fans on your Mac may not be performing well. They maybe aren't working, or they're not working to the speed that they should, causing your Mac to get really, really hot. Even batteries can cause problems on your Mac that then results in some crashes. And what I mentioned at the start, even though it's not as common, malware has been known in the past to cause these sort of glitches on Macs. So this is where a great antivirus, anti-malware software comes into play. Moonlock would be one great example. What about checking why your Mac actually crashed in the first place? We looked at some of the signs. Here is where you actually go and find it. The console is definitely one of the best spots to find all of this information. There's a whole bunch of reports available on the left-hand side, including the crash report. This will contain information of potentially an app that has just suddenly quit or has crashed, why it happened, the reason why the app failed, along with a stack trace showing what the software was doing at that moment. The spin reports are generated when an app becomes unresponsive. Essentially, basically have that little beach ball that you see commonly on the Mac. And then you've got log reports, essentially text-based logs written around system and apps over time, diagnostic reports, and then the Mac analytics data around performance and system health. So how can you fix a Mac that keeps on crashing. There's a few things that you can do. Now, these aren't 100% foolproof, but at least you can try to diagnose and troubleshoot process of elimination to try to identify what is what. The first thing is to boot into what's called safe mode. Safe boot is one way that you can easily ensure that an application did or didn't cause the crash. Safe mode boots up with minimal applications running in the background, so if it works fine there, it possibly is an application. Update the macOS software for the actual operating system and update every single application that you can. Those that you've downloaded from the App Store, those that you've downloaded from the internet, update them. If the crashes stop happening after an update, you may fix the problem. One thing that I do quite regularly is checking what's called the activity monitor. The activity monitor is an easy way to actually see how your Mac's processors are performing against your CPU, your memory, your disk storage, your network, etc. You can open this up and see exactly what processes are chewing up your resources. If there is something on there that is taking all of your resources that could be leading to the crash, that may be the problem. My last two things is, of course, running an anti-malware piece of software. Moonlock would be one perfect example. Get your computer scanned, check everything, make sure that there is nothing malicious that is embedded within your computer that could be causing it. And then really your last resort is to remove the operating system, reinstall it from scratch, and then see how you go after that. One of those things should be able to diagnose for you why your Mac is crashing. You need to then go and take it to an Apple store. Go and take it to a professional Apple store where they can open it up and diagnose some of the stuff. This is probably not software. This now could be a hardware related glitch. It could be on your main board. It could be on the graphics card. It could be one of the ports. It could be myriad of things. Why don't you let us know down below in the comments? Are you having some of these issues? Is your Mac performing not right? We have a great piece of software called Moonlock that you can download and try completely for free for 7 days. And if you love it, you can pick it up with the YouTube 10 code. And this thing will scan your entire Mac and identify vulnerabilities that are on your Mac. Thanks again for tuning in. Love it if you subscribe. Click on that button on the bell. Like this video if you did like it as well. And we'll see you on the next video.